Hey everyone, I wanted to spend some time talking about body paragraphs and how they help you prove your thesis. I figured this screencast might be helpful to you guys as you are finishing up your essays and doing some final edits. So, one thing I recommend when you think you're done with your essay is to just go back and check to make sure that your essay is doing what you said it was going to do. So I've got two sample paragraphs here, and the first one is the paragraph that needs work, as you can see. So our thesis statement, which you have seen before, we used this before in examples when we were all together back in class. Hansberry demonstrates that everyone needs a good friend to get by in life. So this is the paragraph that I wrote that is not really doing a good job here. I'll read it to you. Asagai visits Beneatha after Walter loses the money. When Beneatha is distraught and depressed about Walter Lee losing all the family's money, Asagai asks her, isn't there something wrong in a house in a world where all dreams, good or bad, must depend on the death of a man? After Asagai says this, he suggests to Beneatha that she should come with him to Africa. This, of course, is a little bit too much for Beneatha since she's recently dealt with the loss of the money. She tells Asagai that she needs to think, but their interaction seems pretty positive. And at the end of the play, she even playfully mentions to Mama that he asked her to marry her. Okay, so let's take a look at this. First thing you're going to want to notice is this topic sentence tells you the action that happens in the quotation here, but it doesn't really connect back to the thesis statement. So if you look at the thesis statement here, Hansberry demonstrates that everyone needs a good friend to get by in life. This topic sentence says nothing about being a good friend or helping Beneatha or anything like that. It just says that Asagai shows up after Walter loses the money. Okay, so we got the quotation here, and after the quotation, this is where you're supposed to be analyzing how the quotation helps you prove your thesis. And if you look at what I've got written here, it doesn't really say anything about how Asagai is helping Beneatha. In fact, it doesn't really say anything about the quotation at all. All it really does is it talks about stuff that happens after the quotation. And I feel like this is pretty common in a lot of the essays that I read. You think, okay, I got my quotation, then I'm going to tell you what happens after the quotation. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up here and I'm going to show you a good paragraph. Okay, so we've got the same thesis statement, and I'm not going to read this whole paragraph because I'm running out of time on my time limit with Screencastify, but I just want to point out some key features to you here. First of all, in our topic sentence, Beneatha's friend Asagai helps her understand that life is not only about money. So it does refer to the quotation. It does mention the money, and the quotation is about the money as well. But what you'll notice is we've got friend Asagai, which connects back to good friend up here. And then we've also got understand that life is not only about the money. And if you notice in the thesis statement, you've got a good friend to help you get by in life. So we got that connection there. Okay, so same quotation as we had in the bad paragraph. But if you look at what I've written after the quotation, you will notice that it is actually discussing the quotation. So Beneatha is so wrapped up in her loss that she fails to realize that money was not really hers to begin with. And Asagai reminds her that the money came from her father's life insurance check. Okay, you've got that right up here in this quotation. He points out how awful it was that her dreams hinged on her father's death. Because of Asagai, Beneatha comes to realize that her life's hopes and dreams need to come from herself and not from money. And if you see here, we've got this connection to the thesis statement, to the getting by in life. Okay, I'm about to run out of time, so I'm going to call it a day. If you've got any questions with this, or if you need help with your paragraphs or anything else, please shoot me an email and I will help you out. Thanks for listening. Bye.